All right, let's get this damn podcast started, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Shot to the Nog with Eric and John. Say hello, John.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back.
Today we have 3 special guests. Well, actually 2. One is just annoying.
Yes.
Let's start with Yashira. Yashira, say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Kelvin, too. Kelvin.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
And the stinky one.
The Black Menace.
Jordan. Say hello,
guys.
Jordan.
How you doing, everybody?
Yeah, all right. So, the topic of the day is what's it like to be in jiu-jitsu as a white belt? What brought you in? What is your opinion on training as a beginner? So let's start with Yashira. Yashira, what brought you to jiu-jitsu? Get a little closer. There you go.
Okay. What brought me to jiu-jitsu? So, well, growing up in the Bronx, I was always, I used to fight a lot when I was in school.
Menace.
Yeah. Richard, which is my boyfriend, he kind of exposed me to jiu-jitsu. I was very ignorant about jiu-jitsu at first. I thought that.
That's the people, because
Are you ignorant?
they love you. They love you.
But don't scream.
Yeah, I was dead.
Right. Okay, so you had a rough upbringing. You got into a lot of fights in, where exactly did you say you were from? You were from the Bronx or Brooklyn? What did you say?
Bronx.
Okay,
I was raised in the Bronx,
Okay.
born in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
English is my second language.
All right.
Spanish is my first.
Okay, listo.
Yeah.
That's that means something in Spanish, guys. Not gonna explain what.
Cabrón.
Oh, my God.
Hey, this is a family podcast.
That's having to do with a goat, though, right?
Cabra, pendejo. Okay. So you had a tough upbringing. You got into a lot of fights, and you're 22 now, right? You're 22 years old.
22.
22 years old. So you're still fairly young, and so you started jiu-jitsu at what age?
I was 20.
20. Okay, so you've been training for 2 years, and you're
Yeah.
still a white belt. You have 1 stripe on your white belt. That's
Yes.
excellent. And so far, what's your take on jiu-jitsu? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you want some more of it?
I want
That
more.
rhymed, by the way, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody caught that. All right, so yeah.
I want more of jiu-jitsu. Actually,
Okay.
I wanna succeed in jiu-jitsu. This is like my lifestyle for me.
Okay, good.
I wanna be able to be the best person, the best version of myself,
Awesome.
of course, and of course maintain, and always control my myself, because jiu-jitsu has helped me a lot
With anger.
with anger. Of
Okay,
course.
so you have anger issues.
I do.
All right. As most jiu-jitsu people do.
I do.
At least in this school.
But
Yeah, we're generally
working on
angry
it.
all the time. Yeah. Oh, there's another bells and whistle. Hey, Brent. Stop texting me. Jesus Christ. All right, so, this is so annoying. This kid, man. This is the problem when you have students that just depend on you 24 hours a day.
24/7.
All right, so, okay, so that's great. So Yashira explained to us that she is using jiu-jitsu to control her anger issues, because if not, she would probably snap and slap a bitch, right?
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. All right,
do
so,
that somewhere.
all right, another guest here, the stinky McStinkenstein of the school. The bottomless pit, who's eating as we speak, Jordan. Like I was saying before, I'd call you the black hole, but that would make me racist. So I'm not going to call you the black hole. So I'm just going to call you Jordan. So Jordan, what age did you start training, period?
I started at 16 or 17.
And you're how old now?
21.
21. Okay, so for a couple of years you've been training everything. Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing,
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu,
kickboxing,
everything.
boxing, yeah, everything.
All right. So, what brought you to training? Just period. Like, what brought you to training? What made you want to train?
Well, it was an accident. I was drinking, hanging out with my buddies, saw MMA school.
Another lost soul. Okay.
And I saw somebody getting their
Going
ass
twice.
beat, so I was like, oh, I want to go in there and try and do a little sparring. So
Okay.
walked in the gym, tried it out, got beat up, and then I started training like immediately afterwards.
All right. Okay,
Found,
that's
like,
good.
Fun in it.
So you found a little, like Yashira, you found peace in training.
And solace.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
found like
You found what your calling is probably because you're still fairly young and
Yeah.
you're trying out MMA. You're having an MMA fight this week, which is awesome, which is excellent, and you'll win hopefully if you
of
stay
course.
steady on your diet of chicken wings and French fries and cheeseburgers,
Don't
which
get
is
the pizza.
awesome. Yeah, pizza, pasta. This dude just ate 3 different plates of food. And I'm not talking tiny
He,
plates.
he only gains muscle mass, so he's talented.
Yeah, he ate 3 plates of food, 2 which were the same. It was shrimp and what? What was it?
Shrimp and fish.
Shrimp and fish.
And olives.
And he
and
just finished a
tomatoes.
thing of
Olives.
vegetables with olives and shit, and he's still finishing a pasta dish.
Right?
This guy's just insane. You truly are a bottomless pit. All right, so what's your take on jiu-jitsu? How do you like jiu-jitsu? Are you having fun? Are you not liking it? Do you suck at it?
I love jiu-jitsu. I think jiu-jitsu is like the like a fallback, like if striking doesn't work, or
Okay.
if let's say somebody throws you on the floor,
Right.
or things don't go your way standing up, you have something to fall back on, and you can defend yourself. At the
Key word there, defend, as in street fight, not competition, which is excellent. Okay, so you're thinking about also fighting on the street in case of. All right, that's good. Very good. What are you guys fucking doing with this pasta?
I don't know. I thought he wanted
Shit.
some
He has
pasta.
food
I
on the
guess he
table
didn't
now.
want
I
no
am
pasta.
cursing a lot today. Seriously.
Jacket.
I think I woke up just on the wrong side of the bed. I'm generally not this cursy.
I love
Yeah,
a lot of
but I like
carbs.
jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is very fun. It helps you start to realize, jiu-jitsu isn't just about like being on the mats. It's like, building links in life, having people to fall back on and being disciplined. So
I hear you, homie. I hear you. No, that's true. You feel like you can fly.
yeah.
About it every night and day.
Yo,
Spread your
man.
wings and fly away. I get it. No,
That
that's
caught
good.
me off guard.
That's good. No, I'm happy that you're enjoying training. I'm happy that you're enjoying the teachings of John and myself. I'm happy. We've seen the progression because when you first started here, you were just horrible at everything. No, it's true. He was very, very raw. He had
aggressive,
talent.
super
You
aggressive.
have, you
Yeah.
can see the talent. I know that. God damn it! I can see the talent. The talent is there. The talent is always there.
Opens the door.
That's our doorbell in case you people don't know, which you should by now. So, but no, we've seen the evolution of you, which is excellent. We've seen you really get great with Pablo helping you with your kicking, and John helping you with overall everything else, and me with my grappling, my jiu-jitsu. I hate calling it grappling. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's not
rich
grappling.
with the strength and conditioning.
Yeah, we have a guest. Go, just shut your mouth over there. So let's go to our
I also
third.
want to add.
Yeah.
You've also seen him change physically since the first fight that he's had. He's taking pictures and video. You watch his body also; it has changed. This is something that's actually I think people should take notice. So you can see one of the productive and positive things about training in MMA, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, all of these things are caused. You could see it, right? You agree? Yeah. Like you could watch his muscle definition. I was watching him today when he was sparring. I'm going, Jesus, he looks different. There's a picture on the internet for this weekend's fight. Havoc, it's called, or whatever.
Yeah, it's
and
ECF event.
right, it's part of the ECF, which he's fighting. And I'm telling you, like he's got a YouTube video out there, and also he's got like pictures, and they have a picture of him. He's holding his arms out, and the dude looks inebriated, like totally skinny. And now he's got muscles, he's got bicep veins are sticking out.
Yeah, he looks horrible in that picture. Right? He looks horrible. You don't even look like you got color in your face, and you a black dude, homie, which is insane. I don't know when they took that that picture was taken a while ago.
They took it at the last weigh-ins,
Oh, okay.
and they took it like I was 145.
And you were sick,
yeah,
probably.
yeah, I was.
You looked
I was
really bad.
I
Just
cut
horrible.
down.
You
yeah,
look
like-
terrible.
Yeah.
I've seen shit I step in look better than you, man. It was bad. It was bad. But you look great now, thankfully, because he's training and eating right.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
look.
He's been putting in the work. I gotta give him props.
And putting in food in his mouth continuously.
Yeah.
And same
Non-stop.
thing
He's
for-
eating right now, people.
Right now.
Not to neglect Yashira. Also, I want to tell you, we skipped you. We're gonna get to you. I just want to say, I don't want to give him the props and not skip you because you guys did. Also, Yashira's competing this week in IBJ.
Yeah. She's doing a tournament in Jersey. We'll be
First
there.
tournament, and also she's been putting in the work, and we're just gonna put a prop. Give you.
Yeah, and
props
we'll
on.
get to that.
thank
We'll get to your feelings on
thank you.
tournaments. So now let's go to our third guest over here,
Yes.
Kelvin.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going?
All right. So
Kelvin happens to be a police officer. We should mention that. Are we allowed to say?
Yeah, no, I
it is
mean,
now, I guess. So.
Sorry.
Just blew up his spot. No, but okay. So you trained boxing before training anything else. How old were you when you started training that?
All right, so when I started training, I was about 17,
Ah,
straight out of high school. Got into a lot of fights in high school. I figured, I wanted to get into law enforcement.
shit, there's a lot of lost causes at this time.
Yeah,
One of the things that happens, I think, in martial arts also is that we are products of our environment. You're going to see there's an underlying key here that goes from you and I.
Yeah.
We spoke about it in our podcast.
Right.
And you can see the continuation why, another reason why, yes, I'm plugging in the greatness that it is to train in martial arts. You'll notice that we all do these things because we don't want to be bullied. We're either going to be in the streets or we're going to be, a lot of development for
Yeah.
self-security,
For sure, self-defense,
and you see that, and I just want to mention that on a positive note. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, that's fine. I just want to add in, I was always very passive growing up. And, everybody faces these things in high school and even in middle school and elementary. You get those kids that want to test you.
Right.
And then my older brothers were always telling me, never let them run over you.
Right.
They push you push them back. Shout out to my brother David.
Nice.
But, he's probably going to listen to this podcast. But anyway,
That's
I figured, to want to get into law enforcement, I figured, let me actually know something. Let me actually know how to defend myself the proper way, so I wouldn't have to resort to things like the firearm and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Because cops and of those sort people of those sort, they crack under pressure, and people who don't have training, resort to other things.
Right.
And
Two types of people in this world, trained and untrained.
And that also opens up a really good point that we can touch in now. We're talking about being products of our environment, for starters, but there's also the other side. We're talking about the pacification of America, since we're cursing a lot today. And this isn't
maybe that's not the right word. Just the
Yeah.
weakening of.
Yeah.
And that's for another day. But just to clarify that,
point,
we're not
bro.
talking about people being softer. It's just things are so much easier now for people to do that we tend to not work as hard as we used to. Even though there's a lot of hardworking people out there, but shit is easy now, man.
Yeah. And to touch base on it, I don't want to open that one up, but I want to just say that you could see the parallel between that and then having to know how to defend yourself. But today we're going to talk about.
Well,
being
I
white
also
belts.
just want to add, I did about 5-6 years of boxing, maybe a little longer, but I wanted to add that after I learned how to box, and I was constant in that, very steady training 6 days a week, 3 hours a day with my coach. Shout out to Kevin Martinez, which was my boxing coach. After that, I never got into another street fight.
When you get
It disciplined me. It disciplined me a lot.
When you get to jiu-jitsu, though, you better give shout-outs to Eric, all right?
Oh, of course, yes.
You're going to give shout-outs to all the people that train you, you know
Give me shouts outs. Shout outs. Shout outs.
No, that's good, though. You see, boxing is a martial arts, by the way, in case people don't realize, because it's one of the ancient.
Yeah.
It's like one of
It's
the
funny,
first.
people don't consider that, and wrestling should be also martial arts
They're
because
ancient martial
it
arts.
takes a long time to learn that shit too.
Yeah. Well, they were some of the oldest.
Yeah.
And you
Originals.
you can say that they are the two keystones, the two cornerstones of martial arts, striking and grappling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're basic what it is. Today we've evolved and we can speak on those terms, you know. But the point that I don't want to go off on a tangent, because the show should have been called Tangent.
Off on a tangent.
But how is it, if we can ask you, and if you don't mind asking, how is it, the point that we want to make today is, what is it like for you guys? We'll start with Yashira again.
Wait,
we'll go
before
back
you
and
get to
forth.
that, he has to explain exactly how he came to jiu-jitsu.
Oh, you
right?
didn't get, oh, sorry.
Because Kelvin and I have a mutual friend. One of his old partners was one of my old students. They used to train jiu-jitsu with us, and he told them, "Oh, you want to train jiu-jitsu? Check this school out."
Yeah, let me hear
Yeah,
this.
so go ahead.
There were two officers who were involved in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu where I used to work, and so I expressed my interest in it, and he said, I know a guy. And so I was actually supposed to come in about a year ago, but I ended up spraining my ankle pretty bad, so took a pretty big leave for that. But then once I recovered, professor, shout out to the professor, he reached out.
Which one? There's many professors. Which
Eric
one?
Lados.
There's only one professor.
Because I heard names before. I didn't get titles.
I hear coaches. There's only one professor.
It's so hard.
But you actually reached out to me.
Right,
If-
I did.
yeah,
I
and
did.
you said, are you still interested in training? I said, yeah, like, when can I come in? And, I came in, when was it, September?
Yeah.
One of the first days of September, so it's been a few months now.
Yeah,
So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you're
It's
having
great.
fun, right?
So what
Yes.
friends is that brought him in?
Lou Ben, he was an old
Yeah.
buddy, old training partner.
But you know
He used to
the
train way back when we were on what was that 35th Street or some shit, way back, back at the Green Gate, as we like to call it, where you came in and trained with us.
well, what I realized, I didn't really know what I was doing as far as like if the fight took the ground.
Right, and that's
I only-
important as law enforcement. You got to understand. You're not always going to be in a good position. You need to be able to fight. And a lot of the stuff I show you, if you're getting recorded, you're not going to seem like a bully or a bad guy.
Exactly.
You'll be in a good position with a good explanation for what you're doing.
Fascinating.
Okay, so now let's go to John's question. What was your question again?
So they're all right. So my question is, I'm just piggybacking off of what you had said you wanted to talk about today.
Right.
My question really is like for on behalf of Eric here. I want to know. We would like to know, and we would like to ask of you guys, like starting with Yashira again, and we'll go down the line again if you guys don't mind. Tell me what it's like. I have a model. First of all, I just want to mention that I've always stayed with since I've started. It's called White Belt for Life.
Yeah.
That's me. That's where I come from. I just want to put that out there. I don't know for one reason, but just want to throw it out there. But I want to know what it's like, and both of us want to know what it's like. What is it at this point in your venture of jiu-jitsu? What is it like to be a white belt, Yashira?
Shit, I love being a white belt. Shit, you get the most help if you ask me. You get the most help,
It's fresh eyes.
It's
everything's fairly new.
Love it. I enjoy being a white belt. Honestly, I used to think before, shit, I want to be blue belt. I can't wait to be a blue belt.
Right.
I thought I was at that level until I started training with only guys, and I started training with like higher belts, and I started training with I was like, holy shit, I need to humble myself down because this is not the way you should be. You understand? So I was
one martial art that breaks you down.
Yeah.
It works backwards. Every other martial
Humbling,
art,
yeah, the
you
humbling.
learn
Shit.
something. You always learn something, and
Yep.
it's crazy because every martial art, like striking, you learn how to throw a punch. You go home. I know how to
Oh,
throw a punch.
you could be humbled with striking though. You get punched in the
but
face
you
one
go
time.
home. You go home,
Like
and you're like,
anybody-
I know how to punch now.
True.
Yeah.
But
Jiu-jitsu, you go like, what the hell did I just do? What just happened?
well, the
Yeah,
thing
no,
also is that like striking alone. You see, a lot of people don't know this. To me, I'm throw a curveball in there.
Right.
Jiu-jitsu has striking, grappling. You know what I mean? And people don't know that. So let's not limit it in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
box.
yeah, of course.
However, because what it is they also say like Mike Tyson says, right? Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. So there is
Mike
not
Tyson.
putting down the striking arts. You know what I mean? Like, but jiu-jitsu also is humbling because you learn when you get punched, you got to duck or you get humbled. But then you think that's the end all and do all, but then you come to jiu-jitsu thinking you could punch somebody in the face,
Yeah.
and then it's the next level. Like, okay, here the guy can punch me, but he doesn't. So it takes it to the next level because you're thinking like it's humbling further. I think it's more like because boxing and strikers, it's more of an aggressive art. Like you see the term goju-ro in traditional martial arts. They call it the hard and soft. That's what goju-ro. I use that as an example.
It's his nickname in boxing, right?
Yeah,
Goju.
that was your name. So-
Goju. My coach gave me that.
And
He
co-
used to train in Goju Ryu.
there you go. So you understand, right?
Kyokushin karate, right?
Right, and what they talk about, no, Goju is a little different.
Oh, so
Kyokushin
it's-
is, yeah,
okay.
Masayama and yeah. But the point is that you learn striking and you learn a whole mindset. But then that mindset it gets even further opened when you start realizing that, and that was what happened in the first UFC.
Yeah.
You're thinking I can punch somebody in the face and that's it, that's all I need. Then you get a guy who doesn't need to hit you and then he's humbling you
Right.
without even touching you. You realize there's so much, and then after that it just evolves.
Right.
And that's what it means. Like you do get humbled in jiu-jitsu also, and just like a grappler can be humbled if he doesn't know today, not the old school jiu-jitsu, but today you get punched in the face one time and same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So they both have good qualities. I have, no putting anybody down.
No,
no
of
art,
course
no
not.
style.
We never talk shit about anybody over here.
Well, I got a few people that we want to.
At least when we're not recording.
Yeah. Well, so far we might run there. We might just break that. One day we've been flirting with the idea, and maybe we might want to stir some
Damn,
shit
this
up.
shit's a long.
We might want to stir some shit up in the future, just so
Yeah,
you know,
maybe.
to get some ratings, you know.
A buy rate. All right, Jordan. Same question. What the hell was the question?
The question was, how does it feel to now? What stripe? First of all, what's your rank?
I'm a white belt.
You're a white belt. So
With one stripe.
he does have a stripe.
He does
You're
have a
supposed
Oh
to
yeah, I
say.
do have a stripe.
So-
Did you forget, homie?
I forgot.
He was busy eating. Ate a stripe. Ate a stripe.
What
All
is
right.
it like for you at this point of your jiu-jitsu journey? What is it like to have that first stripe? What is it like to be a white belt in this school or any school?
Yeah.
Being a white belt feels like you're discovering a new color every day.
That's good.
Like
Excellent
that,
description
that's
from the black
that's the
hole.
best
yes.
way. That's the best way to put it, because it's like, you know, once you think you know one thing, it's like it leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another. So it's like a chain, you know. It's like a never-ending link. So you know, it's like discovering a new color, you know, the rainbow, you know, and there's so many colors out there.
Okay, and
Taste the rainbow.
this is get a
Taste it.
So it's so far with the two answers, it's safe to say that these people here are having fun doing this, right?
Would you say you're having fun?
Yeah, of course.
Now,
Yeah.
some
I love
days are
it.
better
Yeah,
than
for
others,
sure.
like everything, right?
Well,
I'm sure frustrations
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Wait till we go back this way. I want to tell you something. Let's finish with the white belt.
ultimate frustration.
And I just want to touch, just to fuel the flames here a little bit. Do you know, like, Polish jokes? And I'm not being racist neither, because we just, you know.
Oh, God.
But
Yeah,
you
you
know,
gotta say
the
that.
Bonovo jokes are going on. Just kidding. But there are jujitsu memes and jujitsu jokes, and the bunt of them are white belt jokes.
Yeah, white belt.
Like they show two lions killing each other. It's like jujitsu got white belts rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know, are you guys familiar with that? Are you aware? Have you seen those jujitsu memes and jokes? Yeah, right. So how do you feel about that?
Kelvin.
How about Kelvin? You got an answer for that one?
Oh, I find them funny, you know. I can't really relate. I haven't been doing this that long, but you know, being yeah, that is the point. Being a white belt, I mean, you know, I just come in with the clear head every day, willing to learn, always want to train, always seeking new knowledge, you know.
That's really cool.
And it's never really been about the belt for me. It's just been about learning, you know. And I hope I can always keep that humility through my whole fighting career and, you know, working career.
Yeah, that's important, man. Being humble, the higher rank you go, it's safe to say that some people kind of take it to the head sometimes. You know, you're a blue belt, you feel a little better than a white belt.
Oh yeah.
Purple belt, you feel a little better than a blue belt. And then you get the brown and
And the
black.
brown belt, and you feel like I don't want to get brave. Then it's the opposite. You want to pump the brakes.
Yeah, you
'cause
don't
you're
want to.
like,
You don't want to go to black
You
yet.
don't want to go black belt because then you know it's a target on your ass.
Yeah, because then you're the guy that everybody's coming
Wants.
after.
Everybody wants
Yeah,
that.
everybody.
You know.
Of course,
firsthand.
man. I live with that shit. But
It's a lot of pressure. Though.
it is, but it's important to have that pressure on you because otherwise, you know, I mean, it's cool to be the black belt, but you have to stay humble. Being humble is very important, right? Because there's a lot of people, you know, like when I was in corrections, the fact that I had so much power over 94 people,
Wow.
kind of put me in the clouds where, like I had mentioned before, yeah. I had mentioned it before, right? I had inmates referring to me as God and nothing else because I told them I see all, I hear all, I know all. You guys cannot do a damn thing without me. No, and it got to my head, right? And of course that experience made me humble for this experience. Now that I'm a black belt, I don't consider myself better than anyone. I just have been training a little longer than each and every one of you, right? Except for John. John's been training for ages.
That just shows how stupid I am. I'm special ed, everybody. Just so you know, there is special ed for jiu-jitsu, and that's me. Hi. No, but on that, you know, we have sayings, right? Just like I was talking about white belt for life, there's also a black belt is a white belt that never
That
quit.
never quit, right?
Which is a good theme for what we're talking
Because
about.
at black belt, you don't stop learning, man. Sometimes I'm watching these guys roll, and I'm reminded of old techniques, or I see something that I've never seen before. They're so, you know, it's cool watching new people train because there's that panic, that white belt panic that's important also for when we train because if we were to roll, we're playing very much chess. We're doing it slow. We're trying to play,
And they're discovering.
and when we roll with them, they're going at us 150%, which is kind of like a street fight, which is good for us. It keeps us sharp.
And they actually do natural survival movements.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
you learn later on
Yeah.
in life,
It's
or
right-
haven't learned yet
yeah.
in jiu-jitsu, and then some you're like, oh wow, but they don't know it.
The white belt panic.
They don't know they did it, right?
Yeah, the
They're
white
like,
belt
What
panic.
was that? I don't know. I was just trying to survive.
Yeah, yeah. No, we love that. We love that, and it's cool. And we're happy that you guys are having fun. We're happy because really, like I always say, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. That's
Yes.
That's kind of
And
it.
I just want to touch also, again, I'm always plugging us in. Sorry, shameless plugs. But I just want to also say, like, I don't know if you guys listen to these white belts that train here at Enigma, NYC, LIC. Anyway, shameless plug. Now, if you listen, they're very humble. You can hear the humility in this. You know, you go back and listen to them. These guys talk about, they almost poetically spoke. You know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
an reflection to us because
Yeah.
we are their professors and we're fucking humble as shit, to be
Yeah.
honest. I mean, we're the most humble guys out there.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think there's anybody more humble than us.
No, exactly. See, I told you. With the shiznit. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we're not. We're okay. We're okay. We're not.
There's nothing more humbling than tapping.
Yeah.
There's nothing more, you know.
God damn it.
And that's a laser. that's not the bell. That's just my shoot lasers at us. You know.
Either you tap or you pass out.
Tap, nap, or snap.
Tap, nap, or
Never
snap.
snap. That's how
Yeah.
we roll.
Okay, so let's we're keeping it short today because you know.
Sounds good
But
to me.
I think we should have these people back, right? You think so?
I like that. Oh, we should do another belt up, and then
Yeah.
another belt. We should
Yeah,
do blue belts
yeah,
next.
yeah,
we should
yeah,
do the purple belts, and then.
Oh, I'd love to get Alex in here.
Right? That would be that. Is
We'd
a
have to put
podcast everybody-
a content
muzzle.
warning
Nah,
at the beginning.
Just let them loose. Just let them loose. You
The
know.
following might be offensive.
Right, yeah. Oh, we can do a warning, right?
Yeah, we can always do that.
If you have virgin ears.
Please don't listen.
Don't listen.
Yeah,
Please
look,
tap
and we have
out.
another one of our white belts here.
Discretion is advice.
Dre.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so
Short for Andre, right?
Yes.
So tell us, what is it like to be a white belt?
yeah,
I love it. I love it.
he's literally fresh and clean.
It's very humbling when you get choked out.
See that word? Exactly what we were just saying. Say it again.
It's very humbling when you get choked out for the first.
The first time.
He drooled, everybody, just so you know.
Because I'm drooling, because I'm excited about being on the podcast. What episode is this?
This
4?
is 5.
5?
5, yes.
Oh, this is long.
Joshua does not want to.
Joshua, what are you afraid?
He's a punk.
Biatch!
What happens to punks? They jump up to get beat down.
There you go. Party blanket.
Come on in here, sweetheart.
Hello.
Hello.
No, so yeah, we were just asking everybody what's it like to be a white belt, and what brought you to jiu-jitsu? What made you want to train?
I just wanted to do it.
All right.
Just
Why?
do it.
I loved it. I mean, I love all types of martial arts. Martial arts is it's disciplining. It's very disciplined.
Why do you love it?
Why do I love it? Just the learning part. When you learn how to throw a proper punch, when you learn how to block properly, when you learn how to, when you learn how to read someone's movement, that right there is.
That's a true martial art. Right.
Do it.
That's true. That's 100%
That's
true.
true expression from your heart. That's what you're trying to
Body
say.
movement.
Yeah. I love
Jordan
it. I
is
love it.
still eating, people.
Wow.
30 minutes. He's
30
been
minutes
eating.
later, carbs.
He's been eating.
He's loading up carb load.
Oh, Jordan. He had shrimp and onions.
That's cool. You got soundboards.
He just
I got
shot it.
soundboards. So this is awesome. This is awesome.
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
I
so
love it.
we have 4 opinions on what it's like to be a white belt. Pretty much everyone's saying the
fucking
same
hard.
thing. It is difficult. Thank you
Shit.
for saying that.
Wait, can I touch on some more interesting, on a deeper note? Let's talk about the frustrating side of it. Like
Yes.
when you actually get so frustrated, you cry and
Oh,
cry.
I
yeah.
cry my ass off every day.
But that's
Because you're
okay.
rolling and
I cry
when
every day.
Jordan,
But do you know
Jordan gets
why?
tapped and he's still laughing. Like he's
Jordan-
tapping, he's like,
Because he's thinking about what he's going to have
Oh
for
no,
dinner.
don't get me wrong. That's the best part about getting tapped because you learn from it.
Yeah, it's right. If
How
you're
about
not
you?
tapping, you're not learning. Any frustrations?
Tapping like a typewriter.
What was the question again?
Like the frustration of jiu-jitsu.
Have you been frustrated yet?
Has it come to the point
It's very
where, like,
hard
why
for
the
me to
hell
get
am I doing
frustrated.
this? Oh, that's good. That's good.
Never got to that point.
No?
Never got to that point.
Listen,
It-
I'll tell you a story, guys. I'll tell you a story,
I-
right?
Dre is super brand new.
Literally,
like, sticker.
what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
2-3 weeks.
Freaking awesome.
Second week I was pissed off.
Once you start getting,
Because you know when you first have someone in a mount, right?
Yeah.
Most people know what to do.
Yeah.
If you've been taking it for 2 weeks.
Right.
Me, when I'm in the mount, I'm like, okay, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Okay. Like when I'm sparring with you, right?
He's talking to Yashira,
he's
the
talking
tiny
shit.
Yashira.
Yeah, literally
You know, I'm like,
110 pounds.
okay,
With a brick in her pocket.
I'm
With
I'm 250 pounds.
That's a big boy.
250.
And you what, like one
She's
something?
110, wet, with a brick in her pocket, right here, I'm holding her boyfriend in her
And
arms.
gassy.
Oh, they're meant to be gassy.
Dude, don't say that. That's
What
the hell?
Yo, let me close my legs.
I gotta leave now. OMG.
Never mind.
Go ahead.
Never mind. Hold on, applause that.
Yeah, applause that.
No, so you're mounting her, who's a smaller person than you, and then you have no idea what to do.
I don't know what to do. That was like my second week. Now I'm like,
Well, now you're getting it. Now you're
I'm getting
understanding
it.
things.
But
You know about position.
I just use her as an example.
Right.
There was I forgot the big dude's name.
Which
I was
one?
sparring with him all the time. Fuck, keep forgetting his name.
Who's this big dude? This is
Big dude, yeah, Spanish dude.
Pablo.
Pablo.
The brick.
Pablo Escobar.
The
Not
brick.
Pablo.
Pablo.
No.
The brick is
Oh,
Armando.
Armando. Armando?
No, he's.
Armando.
Spanish?
20 years
No,
old.
not him.
Oh, a big guy.
Big dude.
No, he's on Anderson.
Derek.
Yeah, Anderson.
Anderson.
Oh,
Big
Silver.
Anderson. Yeah, he's.
Silver.
See how you like it, son. I know what she feels like. Listen, there's always bigger fish in there.
Always gonna be
bigger.
someone bigger, stronger, faster, younger, everything.
And my input on that as a coach, I'm going to say that this is why you cannot rely on muscle. If you rely on muscle, you can only beat somebody as strong as you.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu teaches you that you rely on leverage, technique.
Technique, leverage,
You know what I'm saying? And that's a good point of jiu-jitsu, right?
Truth is in the technique.
Thank you.
And the tap.
But you know, when you're new, you just don't want to tap.
Right.
You don't.
You don't wanna submit.
Because
That's
just
right.
like that person, you're like, I don't want to fucking submit to this person.
Yeah.
I'm not tapping. Especially like guys that are like girls.
Listen, there's a story. There's a story.
It's hurting
Yeah,
me.
here's a
There's
Check this
a
out,
great
check this
story, and I'm not gonna name names, but Anna, I know if you're listening, this is for you. Anna is one of my students who's a correction officer. Right.
That was for Anna.
That could wait. Yeah, a correction officer. And she had, I think she's still a white belt. Yeah, she was still a white belt, but she had some training in. And this larger gentleman came up to her, and I put them to roll together. And he was a bit of a chauvinist. I'm not gonna say his name. And he pretty much looked at her dead in her face, and it wasn't a joke. He says, "I am not tapping to no woman." Pretty much is what he said. And she laughed because she thought he was joking, but he wasn't joking. She was like, what? He's serious. This guy's serious. She told me this after the fact. So they start to roll, and he's a big muscular guy, 6'3", 6'3", 220, solid muscle, big dude. And he was pinning her. She was in his guard, which is she had her legs wrapped around him. His waist. And he was pinning her arms like someone that doesn't train would normally do, just to control the person. And she worked her way into a cross grip in the collar, her first grip, right? Which was the starts of a cross choke. And then she got that first grip, and then she adjusted her second grip, and she managed to break free and close the choke. At this point, the guy's just struggling, trying to move, trying to pull her arms apart. She's got that choke deep. It's tight. And I'm watching it, right? And I'm like, oh, please don't tap. Just let it happen. And he's not tapping, right? And I didn't know that they had this conversation prior to their roll.
It's deep in there.
And it was deep. He started to snore with his eyes open, bro. He dropped on her, and he was with his eyes open. And I pulled his 220 pounds ass off of her, and he was out. And she just let go. She let go.
I gotta tell you, mad respect to What's the name again?
Anna.
Anna, sorry, my bad. Anna, sorry, my apologies. Mad props to you because instead of going for an armbar and breaking this guy's arm,
Yeah.
or some other lock, like
But she's a
Sheila,
sweetheart, man.
She
She's a
is, and I
sweetheart.
remember. I mean, she could be rough though.
No, she was
she's
a tough chick.
Yeah, and the thing is, I gotta give her props because she went for the submission that
Yeah.
was humiliating but humble.
Right.
Without having to call this guy some major injury.
Right.
Again, that's one of the beautiful things about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and
You know,
the
so
end of the
really
story is when he came to, I had him count, and if you've never been choked out or passed out, or when he came back, he was trying to say something, but the brain and the mouth haven't fully connected, so it was just mumbling sounds. It was very.
So he was
and I'm
like-
pretty much. Yeah, he was like a kitten dying. So he was there and he was looking up at me and I had his legs up and I'm like, relax, breathe, count to 10 backwards. And he's and nothing's coming out. And then he got back to it and he's okay, 10, 9, 8. And then he got back and I put him against the wall. And his girlfriend happened to be sitting on the sidelines watching everybody roll. And she kicked her shoes off
That's
and ran on the mat. While he was passed out, mind you. And she was like, oh my God. And I'm like, relax, let him breathe. He's okay. He just took a nap. He'll be fine. It happens. It happens if you don't
freaked
tap.
out, though, right?
Yeah, she was freaking out.
Did she catch her in the submission?
No.
Like, oh, word, you want to come
Just tackled
Yeah,
the poor
for
girl.
a minute,
No, this one, she was legitimately concerned. And then I sat them both against the wall. She was holding his hand, rocking back and forth like he was in a car accident or some shit.
So did he wake up sounding like this?
That was a
Sorry,
bad
I mean
joke.
more like this.
Yeah. That's exactly how it was sounding.
Let's do it again.
Right. So he came back and he was against the wall and he was looking dead ahead, straight, and he was shaking his head and he was like, I don't know. And I'm like, dude, are you all right? And he's like, wow, that I have never been through that. That's never happened to me before. And he stopped. He was like, his face was pale, right? And this was a darker gentleman, and he was white. And he was just like, wow. Like, here's something there's my boy. Here's something I pose to people. Imagine your favorite dinner, right? By the person, your favorite person to cook it. So let's say your mom cooks you a nice hot meal, and she places it down, and there's your favorite drink, and you're watching your favorite TV show, and you're so happy, and then somebody comes and throws everything off the table and smashes your TV. That face, after that happened, that's the face you have. Imagine that face, right? That's the face this guy had on him. Pretty much,
On his face.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
So,
I'm not-
ladies and gentlemen,
we're not saying names. So here's my purple belt. One of my best friends.
Alex
here,
O'Brien.
Alex. So he knows Anna.
this is the one who we just talked about earlier. That we
Yeah,
please,
and
like,
he was
sponsorship.
there. He was there the day that the gentleman went to sleep, which we're not going to mention his name, right? Don't you dare. He watched it, but so
We gotta let him loose. We
he,
gotta let
he
Alex loose.
yeah
That's it.
he looked devastated, and after that, he never trained again. But he always had an excuse as to why he couldn't train. He was either he had just worked out or he was sick.
You did get some good gi sales.
Yeah, he bought 4 gis from me. Right, KeikoUSA.com. Go check that website out. It's really
So
cool
if
stuff.
he's listening to this, he knows who we're talking about.
Of course, but I doubt that he's listening. But listen, so he bought, after that fact, he bought gis like he was going to train, but he never trained again. He never stepped foot on the mats again. Right?
So he had a big issue to overcome that he never overcame.
Right. And I forgot why we started telling this story. But let's leave it at
Because
that.
no, it's about the humility.
Oh, right. Being humble in jiu-jitsu or being humbled by jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I used to have a saying too. I wanted to put it over my dojo door. If I got another dojo, it was gonna say, "Come humble or leave humbled."
Right.
You know
Pretty
what I
much.
mean?
And that's
why-
the truth. That's
you know,
the truth.
right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
it. So, guys, we're going to leave it at that. I hope you guys had fun. Hopefully, next time we'll have Alex here so he can tell us funny stories and we can all laugh. Just a quick warning. If you do listen to that
Yes,
podcast,
that's gonna
be
be one you're gonna
ready
need to not
for
take the
some.
kids
Yeah,
out of the
I'm gonna
room.
have to put an explicit lyrics
I'm looking
advisory.
forward to that one.
Squeezed in his advice.
But we
Yeah.
got blue belts and purple belts.
Yeah.
So we'll do both in
Yeah,
two in
so-
one
so-
session.
Today was the white belts. Yeah. Maybe next time we'll do blue belts, and then we'll work our way up to Alex at the purple belts.
Yes. No, let's have him here with the blue belts.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be great.
Yeah, that'd be
Like,
cool.
Maybe two blues and one purple.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, pretty
Two
much.
purple.
That sounds fun. Okay, guys. So
All right, have a good weekend,
from
guys.
Enigma, thank you all. Say goodbye, guys.
They're really not that lame in life.
This is 38 minutes. Right. Yeah, it's about, and we're ending it right now.